Hey all, it's Everdell here. Welcome back to the meadow for a great one-on-one match. And I draw first spot, opt for that forest location with 2 resin and 1 twig. I'm a huge fan of that top left spot as well, but I only drew 5 cards to start the game, so I figured let's hold on to those 5 cards. This is my first one-on-one match, so I say hi. Up top, taking a look at our special events for the game, we've got Graduation of the Scholars, Capture of the Acorn Thieves, Performance in Residence, and Remembering the Fallen. For my hand, I really like the Evertree, the University, and the Queen, and I was also looking a lot at the Lookout, the Historian, and that farm in the meadow. Purple opts for the trade 3 cards for 3 random resources. And that'll be a super popular position for the rest of the game. I opt here for 3 twig and pass turn. And at this point we've both played our winter meeples. I choose to go for the farm in the meadow to play the first card of the game. Followed quickly by purple playing Historian to his city. Quick winter for me, I'm in spring. And definitely thinking about the shopkeeper as a next play. And he plays first crane. Both left forest locations still blocked. I'm really hesitating here where to play, but I need resources. That said, I play shopkeeper here, hoping maybe in the next turn something will change on the board. He's got 0 meeples, so likely going to spring soon. Plays the architect for free with his crane. Purple's gonna play a general store here, so most likely he has a shopkeeper in hand. That's bad news for me. He's already got a historian, so I know he's gonna have good berries and good card draw for the rest of the game. I opt here for 2 twigs and a card, try to refresh the hand a little bit. And I'm happy with the farm. You know me, I love to play the husband-wife duo, maybe 2 if I can. There's the shopkeeper from purple. Back around the horn to my turn. I choose to go farm early. I've got the resources. Let's do it. Only thing is this really signals to him that I'm looking for wives and husbands. So he may try to block me from those in the future, since I've telegraphed I've got 2 farms now. I decided to play a little bit of a strange card for me, the post office. I'm not crazy about this card in general, but I think it's a good pickup for me to extend spring and also maybe use to replenish my hand if needs be in the future. Speaking of replenishing, I am going to take that spot for the 3 card discard for 3 random resources. It is a little bit tough to throw away both the Queen and University, but I decide the Evertree is worth it, so I pick up 2 stones and a resin. Purple player chooses to go to my post office, gives me a victory point, and then a farm and a monastery. And here I'm deciding between playing another production card or one of the lookouts from the meadow before I go to the next season. Ultimately decide, nope, I'm good, let's move on to summer. And I pick up the king and the lookout from the meadow. And that reveals the castle in the meadow. That would be a great pickup. Great play by purple here to block that top left forest location for me. I didn't have any meeples before, and he was definitely watching me for when I was going to come to summer and get back my meeples. I opt for that top right location again, building wood and resin to 3 each, which is what I need for the Evertree. I'm also looking a lot at this special events. I haven't really been focused on building them, really just been trying to play the cards in play. That does it for all the forest locations again. While I still need stone for the Evertree, my thinking here is I don't need a rush to play it. Maybe I play that prosperity card in autumn, so let's do some card draw and pick up some more twigs. Purple joins me in summer, gets those meeples back. Now that top left forest location is open, so I'm definitely looking towards that. He decides to pick 2 cards from the meadow I don't really care for. No problem there. So I'm going to snag that corner spot. A little tough to part with the lookout, but I have to do it. And then I'm going to opt here for 2 stone and 1 resin. Great, got what I need. And this is my 4th farm draw for the game. A little too much farming. Quick look at his city. He just plays another inn. His is looking really strong. A lot of synergy there with the judge, the historian, the shopkeeper. Decide to play the Evertree now, just in case something appears in the meadow that I want to play with it. A great critter would be a queen, but no luck here, just a woodcarver. I would have loved to have seen a queen in the game sooner, because that king is a +1 bonus point for basic and +2 for special events. I haven't really been focusing on events, and so this was coming up in a couple of previous games as well. I started really doubting and thinking, should I play the king? Is it worth it? Evertree lets me play any creature, but I don't really seem to be going lately for events. I seem to be playing the cards, so this was a tough call for me. Back around the horn after a couple of plays. I'm on the prepare for season moment for fall, but ultimately I do decide to play that king. Purple grabs the ranger. Ranger lets him move a meeple. He chooses to go for resin. With my 2 berries, I just missed the ranger. I actually choose to go for the woodcarver here, pay 2 berries, and pay 3 twigs then with its special. First gatherer of the game that I've seen. Definitely want to pick that one up if I can. Quick look over at their city. I see no farms, so likely it's going to be mine, but they took a long time here, and I thought maybe they were going to steal. They ultimately opt to go to my post office again. I take the gatherer right away with one of my farms. Purple plays a fool to my city. And that's a tough one. I've got only 5 spots left. I haven't seen any universities since discarding my first one. They have a dungeon, so there's only 1 dungeon left. That's going to be hard to get rid of. I decide to actually play the Undertaker to get the palace and 2 other cards that I don't want off the meadow. I don't think I can get to the palace right now, so I decide to just discard it so that they can't play it either. But that leads to a castle and a clock tower. I'm going to take the castle though off the board. Now there's a historian and a clock tower, so I'm looking at those. Meanwhile, purple plays an innkeeper. At this point in the game, as I'm facing autumn and they're still in summer, I do feel pretty good being up 10 points, but I don't like entering autumn first. It will give the last few plays probably to the opponent, and I definitely am feeling nervous. They have a lot of synergy that they're going to cash in on later from their city that I talked about earlier, so I'm not feeling super confident at this point. When I fire production here, I choose to pick up Twig in the storehouse so that I can get both of those, which will help me towards building the castle. And right then and there, he takes that 3rd top left forest location. I decide I'm going to get it in autumn though, so I need to be paying attention to it there. What I opt for in the meantime is just pick up everything from my storeroom. And they join me very quickly right after in autumn. And I'm definitely going to grab that top left location. This is a tough one as well, because although I'm excited to play the castle, I've already played the king, and so this is a prosperity construction that I won't have a critter that can automatically be paid for with it. They opt for some resources. I'm looking at their city, and they've only got 10 spots taken versus my 11. I still need 1 resin, so I choose the top right forest location, so I'm good to go for the castle. What a great card for them, the theater giving them 9 bonus points. And with that, they are now in the lead, 28 to 27. I hop up to 36 by playing my castle. And now I'm definitely nervous. I decide to opt for 1 victory point and then delve into the deck for 2 cards. I pick up a Harvester, which is great, play that immediately. But just noting, they also played a castle. So this is really neck and neck, back and forth. What a great showdown. I actually choose to delve even more, discarding 2 cards in order to get a full hand with the help of my post office. I've got a ton of resources, but I only have 1 meeple left, so this is really going to be a tough end game for me. The Crane, the Teacher, the Evertree, but again, I don't have many resources left to play. Got a lot of berries, and do I really want to use my last meeple for a stone for the Crane? I'm not sure what to do here. I decide to reduce my hand a little bit, play a Harvester, with the help of just actually paying the full price of 3 berries. I choose to get a stone with it, so that's good. I've got my Crane if I need it. And they play a Bard, discarding 5 cards from their hand. That is a tough one. They're now at 40 points to my 42, but I'm running out of time. Play another Harvester to hopefully save the spot for a wife or that we get in the meadow. They play a Monk and choose to not, I don't think, pay for the berries. I could be mistaken there, but that's not a good card either. Just surveying around, thinking my last play, 1 or 2 plays here, what can I do to maximize points? I opt here for the Crane for my 14th city spot. And Purple's getting creative with their first Ruins. Curious to see how that city plays out. Ruins is not one of my favorite cards, but you can get very creative discarding a construction to get back 2 cards plus whatever the cost of that construction was. And I'm debating here, thinking, do I want to buy the clock tower? I actually cancel and decide to go for the fairgrounds here. It's also worth 3 points, but it gives me 2 cards to draw, so I'll do that instead. Pick up both a wife and a school, both prosperity cards. That's looking good, very helpful. 6 points if I can play the school, 7 points if I can play the gatherer just from the school alone. And this is the beginning of the end. Basic event claimed by Purple. Play the Harvester to take the lead back at 53 points. And Purple plays Performer in Residence and picks up a ton of points here. One of the special events from the top of the tree. They go up to 56, taking the lead back. I'm looking to is there anything I can do at this point? I'm very close to the Ranger Courthouse if I can get a courthouse, but I actually had discarded it, so I don't think there's even one special event I can do at this point. The best luck I think I can do is play a couple of cards from my hand, the school in this case, and then probably discard. But then I realized, actually, I don't have any meeples to discard, so this is going to be it for me. Play the school, get up to 61 points. And I realized that was really the last play for me for the game. Unless a Wanderer shows up in the meadow, I think it's it for me. and I prepare for winter, closing the game at 61 points. Purple team just 1 point below at 60. They start here just going off, using ruins, playing different cards. Really impressive end game for them. That's 3 events total for them, the king giving him bonus points on top of the events themselves. Really impressive play by this purple player. I love watching the end game here, how he uses the dungeon, the ruins, the university to get rid of different critters in his city, to keep delving for resources and cards. Really great game by them. They're at 72 points, well ahead of my 61. I think one of the biggest mistakes I made in the game was really undervaluing the events and the special events. And then in general, just getting ahead was not really a good strategy. This player peeled back and stayed behind and now got to play 3, 4, 5 turns alone. And really, I think that's a great way to end the game. GG. I lose 61 to 73. Tons of good plays back and forth. Really appreciate y'all watching this. Click the subscribe button if you want more great Everdell content. I appreciate all the likes and comments as well. If you ever want to play against me, you can find me, my username there. And I'll see you next time in the meadow.